Namaskar, Ashok Vyas, and where we are is the place that is post COVID 19 scenario and how physicians have helped us in moving forward. And I have the distinct pleasure and honor of welcoming two Indian American physicians who are community leaders as well. And first, let me take this opportunity of introducing Dr. Sudhakar, who has helped API move forward under his leadership as president. So, thank you very much, Dr. Sudhakar. Welcome. Uh,
Uh,
and and I also have now Dr. Sreeni Gangasani ji joining us. And Sreeni ji has helped API organize a successful convention as chair in 2019, and now he's looking forward to helping API in the upcoming convention, about which we will talk down the line. But Dr. Sudhakar, these months or past 2 years almost have been very, very challenging. And so, being president of API, when you see the way COVID 19 unfolded here in America as well as its impact was felt in India, what went on in your mind being president, and you have a lot of programs that are organized. So, COVID 19 gave you a different sort of a need to look at and how you responded. Please share.
yeah. First of all, thank you, Mr. Vas, for having us. And also, I want to thank Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh
Absolutely.
giving a platform for ITV Gold. Uh, I took the gavel in July last year during midst of the pandemic. I can say midst of pandemic in virtually. And since then, we RP work very hard to see how we can able to handle this pandemic, including in India as well as in the United States. Last year, RP, the first physician organization, took a challenge and educate the physicians and the community how to take care of the COVID patients and how to deal with the COVID conditions, stress, everything. And we are the RP physicians, the one who told the government of the United States that plasma therapy is the main treatment at the time, and steroid therapy also a major treatment at the time because the Italians and the Spanish physicians at the time they were not encouraging steroids to be used, but we are the one actually promoted steroids as a useful medication to treat with the COVID patient. And also last year in 2000, we did pretty much a lot of activities and webinars. I think also gave donation the PPE to the major hospital like Robert Wood Johnson Hospital, Cook County Hospital, and nursing homes. And also wrote some prescriptions for the families stuck here, including cancer patients, and share a blanket program and nurses treat during the nurses week because they are the one most like physicians and they are frontline workers, and they've been treated very well and appreciate their work taking care of the sick patients with COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah,
allow me to interrupt you for a quick second, and I'll take Sriniji's input on. Many times we have the impression that administration, especially under President Trump, or this was a criticism that they are not responding or they are not receptive to ideas. So when you say that RP physicians suggested this, so overall, how have been the dynamics of communication, Dr. Srini, and many doctors feel sometimes that they do not have enough political clout to have proper ears at the right place. So, a quick response on that.
Thank you, Ashokji. Thank you, ITV Gold, for this opportunity. I think when these difficult, challenging times, nobody knew exactly what to do. We went by what is the best available course, and there are multiple doctors presenting with multiple different kind of treatment options. The preventive options. So the government has to take everything into to one and then decide which is the best course of action. I can't blame government taking one side versus the other. You don't want to take something into one side and then realize that that's not the right best course of action at the time. So the both Trump as a president is a team, or President Biden, both of them, they have a great team of doctors and the bureaucrats working together to make the best available decision at the time. But things have been changing, month to month. Like Dr. Sudhakar said, we've had so many webinars in the last year. So what the webinars initially, what we were talking about versus webinars in the last 3 to 4 months is entirely different, because the data we had, the research we had was entirely different compared with what we have. But under the resources, what we have, under the data we have, all the frontline workers, including the physicians, nurses, the RP team, and the AMA team, have done a wonderful job to be where we are right now.
Very, very good. And Dr. Sudhakar, talking about webinars and the impact that this telemedicine and your interaction with physicians in India or some organizations as well as government officials during COVID-19 in order to overcome as well as address some of the challenges. Do you feel that this was effective, Dr. Sudhakar? Because in normal circumstances, when you are addressing certain issues, that is different. But in COVID 19, everybody is probably not present as much as to give enough attention to you. Or how was the scene when RP team was interacting with your Indian counterpart, so to say, Dr. Sadakar?
Good question, Mr. Vass. In fact, when this second wave started in India, I think RP took a big initiative of organizing a telehealth consultation. eGlobal, for example, Dr. Sreeni is one of the chair for that eGlobal tele platform, and doctors, MD docs. We are using three platforms, but predominantly eGlobal, and it really helps, particularly rural Indian patients. They can able to interact with the physicians so that that really cut down the load on the hospitals and also local providing practicing physicians. Most of the patients are mildly sick. Okay, they don't require to go to the hospital, and they can be treated at home. And with this e-global platform, we can able to reassure the patient that sickness is mild, and and they can able to get treated at home and check a pulse oxy and temperature, all kind of most important things they can monitor at home rather than go to hospital, spend a lot of money. I think this really worked very good for particularly Indian point of view, and I'm sure every day there are hundreds of patients are coming in getting benefited, including the physicians who really require any help to interact with our physicians, because we have much experience taking care of these COVID-19 patients, particularly sick patients. We can interact with our pulmonologists and critical care doctors, so get some benefit from getting some education. And apart from doing a lot of 50 to 60 webinars this year, involving the Australians physicians, England, and also New Zealand and the Indian physicians in India. So it is a big platform, really working well and benefiting the motherland very well.
Absolutely. And Dr. Sudhakar, we have some technical issues here and there, but that issue of lack of having proper technique as well as resources also plays its role in the field of extending medical health. And especially COVID-19 brought even major countries like America to its knees. In the initial phase, they were trying to work out a way so that they have enough ventilators. And as I move to my question, I'm just reminded that we have lost many important Indian American physicians, including RP's previous president, Dr. Ajay Loda, a very fine physician as well as community leader and a friend of many of us. So, and there are others as well whom we lost. Now, the question that I wanted to ask you is the lack of resources. When you talk to your Indian counterparts or physicians, they sometimes feel that they have the know-how, but they don't have the resources to help patients. And API has also worked in that direction by providing probably oxygen concentrate or some other help was extended. Kindly share some of those details, Dr. Sudhakar, and then I'll have Dr. Sreeniji also
Yeah.
contribute to that.
Yeah, Mr. Vass, is very pathetic, when a second wave happened in India, because none of them are prepared for this havoc, actually, because people who were lack of oxygen equipment, and they all died on the streets, actually, because of lack of oxygen supplement. And from the RP point of view, I wrote a simple letter to our members, and we raised about $5 million to rescue Indian patients, all over the way. And we send so far 230 oxygen concentration various part of the country. And also we are distributing ventilators and high flow oxygen equipment. And of course, we are planning to also work with long-term plan. Okay, third wave may come, fourth wave may come. We don't know. And we were planning to do oxygen plants in India, various part of the country. I think our executive committee just approved that we may buy some medications because this black fungus is a big issue right now, and we are able to send some medication called amphotericin, which is available in this country. So those things, and also the monoclonal antibody, which is the major drug we use here for mild to moderate symptoms of the patient with COVID. So these are the two medications in the pipeline we are planning to buy and ship it to. And also vaccination. Vaccination is very, very important because of the long-term plan, prevention and not to get infection, and immunization also gets herd immunity. And RP, personally, me and Dr. Sampath Sivangi, our legislative chair, wrote letters to the 100 senators, okay, to help India to ship vaccinations. And luckily, I heard that, Biden government planned to send some vaccine to India, about 25 million. And it's all achievement. I'm very proud of the leading this great organization. We have the power. Our power is India. Everybody say AAPI is a sleeping giant. We woke up now. Actually, we are showing our power, and it's working actually. And Biden is sending vaccination to India now, 25 million, and it's all work we do. And only thing, we don't talk much because maybe the Indian way. And I'm sure, with the media help, this year we are really coming out and talking about what we are doing right now. And it is really pathetic, what we are seeing in India. The people are dying without any lack of medications, lack of equipment, and of course the shortage of doctors. That's why the e-global platform able to take care of certain patients really does not need to come. Most of the patients, 90% of the patients doesn't need to come to the hospital. And this particular platform will help these patients stay at home and get better and stay well.
Yeah, I think that is commendable, Dr. Sudhakar, and we expect something like that from an organization like API, and let it not be a sleeping giant. Let people know its might. And as we move towards the convention this year, when you are organizing your convention in the first weekend of July, as always, at Atlanta. Dr. Sreeni, the plan or the concept of this year's convention definitely is also taking into account the situation that is brought at your doorsteps by COVID-19 challenge. So, one, we are now in a state where the mask regulation is also sort of relaxed, and yet on that front probably there are some precautions that needs to be addressed. But at the same time, as physicians fraternity looks at the situation, maybe you have a few items in your convention that are also cognizant of the current scenario. Dr. Sreeni, as convention chair, you want to say something about that?
Thank you, Ashokji. I think before I start about the convention, I just want to commend the API, the multi-pronged attack, how they tackled the different kind of issues came around the pandemic. When we saw in New York, even though USA is prepared for a lot of things, so when so many people come at the same time with the hospital or the clinic, it's hard to manage. I think the same thing can happen in India. Even though we have resources are not for so many people to come get sick at the same time. So in this kind of scenario, it's very useful. API kind of an organization put their foot and then coming forward, raising the money, putting the oxygen concentrators, and then giving the webinars to help teach and exchange of information from the physicians from here to there. And then I think, as you said, I think eGlobal Doctors is a telehealth platform we've been doing for the last 15 days. We saw over 1,500 patients over the telehealth. And I'm so proud of our API team and the SEWA team who came together along with eGlobal to provide these kind of services, it's really commendable. Like within 1 week, we had 200 doctors signed up to serve on a voluntary basis to give advice and counseling to our Indian patients, just to take the load off of our Indian brother and physicians who have been working hard. And in this kind of a scenario, that's what our duty, and it really feels good to just give something back to the community. Coming back to the convention, I think we want to give really good tribute to all the frontline workers who lost their lives. I think there's a Memorial Day recently we had. I think the same way we want to give the tribute to our frontline workers, all the physicians, as well as our nurses and everybody. I think there are so many people who lost their lives in this battle. It's like a war zone out there in the beginning. Now we are in a better shape. But I think as a convention coming up, we want to do with a caution. We are only limiting the convention to 500 people with all the CDC precautions, with the distancing. Even though masks are not mandatory right now, we want to use as much as possible with the guidelines. Being a physician community, we want to provide the best kind of example to the community. So we want to show how the GAPI team, what we did in 2019, and with the Southern Hospitality, the GAPI team has been working great to show what we are, and then what we can do to our AAPI members who worked hard in the last 18 months or so, fighting the frontline war with the COVID pandemic.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as I come back to you, Dr. Sudhakar, under your presidency, when this convention is being organized, as a visionary president, where do you see is the special contribution that you expect this convention to make for the community at large, as well as to upgrade the knowledge base of physicians?
Sure. First of all, I want to thank you, the team, because, in the beginning, Mr. Vass, we want to do it in Orlando because of this pandemic, I'm concerned, whether it's going to happen or not. So I took a little slow step, but we have some issues with the hotel. Then in the last 3 months, we moved to Atlanta. And the local team under the leadership of Dr. Gangasani took this challenge. Actually, it's a challenge for them, actually. Doing a convention in 3 months, no joke, okay? So they did extremely good job, organized everything, entertainment, CMV, and Southern Hospital, the food, everything. They lined up. So it is really, I have tremendous pressure on taking care of Indian COVID situation because of them being leadership from Agapi and under Gangasani, and that pressure has been taken out from a convention point of view, and this convention is going to recognize our frontline physicians who lost their life, and also the cutting edge CMB. And we are bringing a lot of physicians, different part of the country, and we are expecting Miss Nikki Haley and several other dignitaries to go and speak in our women's forum. And I'm really looking forward to see this convention in Atlanta, and I'm seeing I'm expecting more than my expectation. That's what I can say.
Yeah, we wish great success. And Dr. Sreeni, when you are looking at this convention, uh, the idea that some of our viewers may not have, it is such a huge and event which offers multiple types of events, including entertainment, and you have many celebrities coming up. And I think it is reassuring that Memorial Day weekend, the kind of air travel that we have witnessed, meaning people are not going to be reluctant in flying over to Atlanta and be a part of this convention. But still, you probably have additional challenge to address logistics. One, because of the shift from Orlando to Atlanta, but even otherwise, in COVID, you cannot get many people from India flying. So, if you want to share what is the USP in your mind for this convention? Because those physicians who are coming, indeed, they'll be happy to meet both of you and others. Yet they want to see what is happening. Why should we come? So what would you like to tell them?
Okay. So after like a year and a half of not traveling, or we didn't have any travel as much. Like we used to go to the Global Health Summit in India. We didn't do that. I think we usually used to have a tour with all the physician families. We didn't do that. And many of the families, I think we couldn't do any of the normal travel we do in a yearly basis. And, so we haven't done it. So this is our opportunity to spend time socially together with the like-minded people. And also at the same time, we have a really world-renowned speakers doing the CME. And we have a spiritual sessions with the spiritual leaders of the world. And then we have an entertainment 3 days. Friday, we have a Vidya Walks coming in. And then the Saturday, we have a Ravi Drums who performed at the inauguration of the president and also is performed multiple places in Hollywood. And that night, we have a Guru Randhawa from Bollywood is going to be singing. And then on Sunday, we have Rex D'Souza and his team is going to have a great performance for all the API members who will be attending. So we really request API members to come and join us in this great occasion to celebrate together what API has done. And Sudhakar, especially as a president, done superb job in the last 1 year. I think this is the celebration we need to do for all his hard work, what he has done over the last 1 year. So I think we're all looking forward to. GAPI team is ready to show. I think all the people who can sponsor, who can have a booths in the convention, please come and join us during the July 4th weekend. June 7th is the last date for the early time for the registration, and then the price is going to go up. So please join before June 7th so we can show you again what Southern hospitality is.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Dr. Sudhakar, I have had the good fortune of talking to you before you became president, and I recollect how excited you were and how passionate you were. Now, you must have learned a thing or two additional after having led this important organization with your passion and conviction to reach out to the community with whatever best you can offer from API. So, if you care to share, what is the lesson that API presidentship taught you as an individual? Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, in July, Ashok, when I took the gavel, okay, I share with Dr. Gangasani quite often, okay. He's like very close to me. And always in the reason is I'm kind of nervous and how to organize. This is a big organization. We are dealing with several big brains, okay, intelligent brains, okay. And I tell you what, my stress level was way up, in the beginning of my career of the presidency, okay. And gradually went on because, I developed the way, the learning lesson every day for me, okay. Again, RP president is a cutthroat job, okay. Because I had to answer so many people, everybody looking at you like, listen, are you doing right or wrong? Or, how do you ask yourself, right or wrong every day, okay. So as a human being, we all do some wrong things, but you try to do the best thing as possible for the organization, okay. One thing I enjoyed was this is the best organization. I'm blessed to serve this great organization. I met a lot of good people, and of course some bad people too. This is part of the life. This is part of the life. So, but I think I'm really enjoyed though this year, even though it's stressful because of pandemic. But I feel that as an organization we accomplished something and delivered to the motherland during this pandemic and helped the adopted land during this pandemic last year. Okay, all presidents are great. They all accomplish a lot every year, and it is a job actually. It is really a job. Okay, because we're all working in full time practice and taking care of our bread and also working for the organization. It is really stretching ourselves to 180 degrees. So I think overall, I have a great team this year, and our officers and executive team, board of trustees, have excellent team, very supportive, and all the way for last 360 days, and that's why I could able to make it. And convention also a great team I have, and I'm sure it's going to be a great success.
Absolutely.
Only thing I request all the members to join for the July 4th weekend, make this event very successful. And without your support, nothing will happen. And I'm looking forward.
Wonderful. And I'm so happy to be talking to Dr. Sudhakar and Dr. Sreeni, and their commitment, compassion, as well as honesty in sharing makes it elevating for us. And as we conclude, just 30 seconds for both of you to share your expectation from someone like Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh and our media, ITV Gold, as well as Parikh Worldwide Media's newspapers, in what way they could join hands in making API convention a success?
So,
Yeah.
Abhi, we want to make it a very memorable event for all the people, all the members, media, or sponsors. We want to make it a very memorable event. So, I think Sudhakar, as a president, took the API to the next level. I know it was a challenging year, but he has done a great job with the guidance of Padma Shri Dr. Parikh, with his blessings and the guidance. I think we can make the successful convention as well as the API go to the next level with the guidance of all the future the leaders.
Absolutely. Dr. Sudhakar, final words from you.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Vas, for having us today. And also thank ITV Gold and Padma Shri Sudhir Parikh. He's like our mentor all the time. He always smile on the face. He always welcome. And he's a part of our RP family, and he always support us. And during this pandemic, he told me, listen, don't worry about ITV. We are with you. We will come to the convention, and Mr. Vas, I'm looking forward to see you there in Atlanta. And first of all, through ITV Gold, I want to thank Seva, which is a wonderful organization, and they supported. We had a partnership with Seva in the beginning of my distribution of the first concentrators. They did an excellent job, and they are all the time. They are there for us, during this pandemic, and of course, the telehealth platform really brought us to next level of API.
Absolutely.
And thanks to the Global and the leadership of API very supportive and made my life much easy. And it is really, this is not again, this when the pandemic arises in India, every day we are going to bed at 2 o'clock in the night and get up in the morning at 7 o'clock to start my job. Because people are calling in the midnight. Okay, listen, what's going on? Okay, please have
Dr. Sudhakar and Dr. Sreeni, I cannot thank you enough for joining us and taking your time out to share about this wonderful convention which is happening. And indeed, with my thanks for both of them, my thanks to you also for being a part of this conversation, and with good wishes for the success of API convention. I thank them as well as you with lots of good wishes. This is Ashok Vyas. Namaste. Yes, sir.
Sasha, how you go?
Very good, very good. मजा आया.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Really, enjoyed it.
It was a real pleasure actually. ऐसा लगा कि बस चाय की कमी रह गई. बाकी मजा आया.
There were some technical issues. I don't know where there was sound and stuff. Is it correctable or is it just going to be like that?
ये तो ऐसे ही रहेगा कुछ.
ऐसा रहेगा.
हाँ. वो पता नहीं कहाँ से आ रहा था. डॉक्टर सुधाकर बोल रहे थे जब आ रहा था ज्यादा करके मेरे ख्याल से. है ना? हाँ. कुछ ना कुछ हो गया. कोई बात नहीं. We can't do much. जितना.
So you come from my side?
ऐसा जब आप बोलते थे तो थोड़ा वो कुछ हो जाता था.
Mike, I think there was some sound coming at the mic.
वो घबरा जाता था ये इतने सॉलिड प्रेसिडेंट बोल रहे हैं तो मजा.
Strong leader है घबरा.
हाँ. नहीं बट ऑडिबल था और आप मेरे ख्याल से उसको कुछ कर रहे थे अपनी तरफ से, थोड़ा ठीक हो जाता था फिर. So either way, it was a pleasure and we'll be in touch. Probably हम फिर और कोई बात भी कभी कर सकेंगे, and whatever way I'll talk to Dr. Parikh also in some way that we can do more than this, and it'll be on YouTube वगैरह तो फिर शेयर कर सकते हैं.
Thank you. See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye bye.